Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Elizabeth II has been the Queen of our nation for 70 years, which means for all of your lifetimes, for all of your parents' lifetimes, and for most of your grandparents' lifetimes too. It also means this is a very special year, the Platinum Jubilee year, making the Queen Britain's longest serving monarch and the longest serving living monarch in the world. The Queen was born at 2:40 AM on the 21st of April 1926 at 17 Bruton Street in Mayfair, London. She was the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York and was christened Elizabeth Alexandra Mary at Buckingham Palace on the 29th of May that year. When she was born, Princess Elizabeth and her family did not expect that she would one day become the monarch. Her Royal Highness was expected to live a relatively normal life with her close-knit and loving family. But everything changed in December 1936 when her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated to pursue his desire of marrying Wallis Simpson, leaving her father as the king and Elizabeth as next in line to the throne. On Wednesday the 6th of February 1952, aged just 25, she received the news of her father's death and her own ascension to the throne while staying in a remote part of Kenya. In an instant, she had ceased to be Princess Elizabeth and became Queen Elizabeth II. Following the news, the tour was abandoned and the young princess flew back to Britain as Queen. She was greeted by Prime Minister Winston Churchill and other officials at the airport before returning to Clarence House, where the Royal Standard was flown for the first time in her reign. Elizabeth was crowned Queen during the Coronation of 1953, and people all around the country were able to join in and watch it because of a recent invention, the television. In most streets, only one or two families had one, so everyone else crowded in to try and get a glimpse. It was a special day full of excitement, but everyday life in 1953 could be very different. Many families lived in crowded housing with poor facilities, and childhood didn't last long. Most children left school to start work when they were just 14 or 15. Many of the jobs available were in heavy industry, so the work was often hard, dirty, and exhausting. If you were a girl, you'd also go out to work, but only until you got married. After that, you'd most likely become a stay-at-home housewife, which wasn't easy. Things were changing fast, though. In the 1950s and 60s, Britain welcomed people from places all around the world, like Asia and the Caribbean. They moved to this country and made it their home, helping to make Britain a diverse, multi-ethnic and multicultural nation. And more women proved that they could have families and pursue careers. After all, even our own hard-working Queen balanced her duties to the country with bringing up a family. By the time of the Queen's Silver Jubilee in 1977, the United Kingdom had become a very different country. But perhaps the biggest changes to all our lives have come about through technology. New inventions have changed how we work, how we travel, and most of all, how we communicate. At the time of the Queen's coronation in 1953, a computer was a machine that filled a whole room and was operated by a team of people. Nobody then could have predicted that 70 years later, everyone would be carrying a powerful computer around in their pockets. The Queen has made sure to keep up with these changes too, for example with social media accounts for herself and the royal family. However, she has always kept one fundamental promise. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service. During the Queen's long reign, the country has already celebrated 3 Jubilees: the Silver Jubilee, the Golden Jubilee and the Diamond Jubilee. And this year, the Platinum Jubilee is an opportunity to think about just how much has changed in 70 years, but also how throughout all that change, some things have remained the same. I want to finish with the words of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, who said when asked about her Jubilee year, "As I look ahead with a sense of hope and optimism to the year of my Platinum Jubilee, I am reminded of how much we can be thankful for. These last 7 decades have seen extraordinary progress socially, technologically and culturally that have benefited us all, and I am confident that the future will offer similar opportunities to us, and especially to the younger generations in the United Kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth. I look forward to continuing to serve you with all my heart. I hope this Jubilee will bring together families and friends, neighbours and communities after some difficult times for so many of us, in order to enjoy the celebrations and to reflect on the positive developments in our day-to-day lives that have so happily coincided with my reign. Thank you for listening.